Former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson is the Libertarian candidate for president. Governor, thank you for joining us. Let me start by asking, how in the world would you begin to try to heal this divide, to heal this pain between the law enforcement community, minorities who feel disregarded and distrustful of the authorities? Where do you start?
Well, Shannon, for me personally, I really do want to thank law enforcement. I mean, I'm thanking law enforcement out on the streets for putting their lives on the line. That said, I think we've had our heads in the sand regarding racial relations and what is happening. Police are not to blame. Of course, in Dallas, this is a situation where police were protecting peaceful protesters. You know, heartbreaking. But let's thank police officers, and let's, as a nation, let's come to grips with the discrimination that has existed for so long and absolutely needs to be addressed and recognized, and let's stop with the discrimination.
Well, when you say discrimination, what do you mean? I mean, people that are racial minorities. I mean, the president talked yesterday about how he believes that they are targeted more, they're stopped more, those kinds of things. I mean, when you look at some of the hard numbers, you know, 13% of black drivers say that they've been stopped or pulled over. As that compares to about 10% of white or Hispanic drivers that say they also are regularly pulled over. So where do we go with this conversation where even if the numbers don't look like there's disparate treatment, that maybe some feel like there is disparate impact for them, and how do we close that gap?
Well, we start by recognizing that there is desperate treatment. If you are arrested on drug-related crime and you're of color, there's a 4 times more likelihood that you'll go to prison. So they are getting stopped more often, and this is a reality. That we recognize this, for starters, we need to recognize this. We need to recognize that it has been going on for a long time, and awareness, conversation, dialogue, this is what needs to take place in this country, and that's how we're going to heal ourselves.
All right, let's talk politics, because you are in the midst of a presidential campaign. Some new swing state polls out today, including third-party candidates. You're getting 7% in Florida, where Trump comes in at 41%, Clinton at 36%. 7% in Ohio, another key state where Trump and Clinton are in a dead heat at 37 and 36. And in Pennsylvania, you're pulling at 9%, about to hit double digits there, while Trump is 6 points ahead of Clinton, 40 to 34. Now, listen, you know, we talk about the new polls every day. These two primary candidates, Trump and Clinton, have the highest unfavorables that we've seen in a long time between two major party candidates. People often say, anecdotally, I don't want to pick either one. I'm not thrilled about either one. So it's giving you an opening, but how do you capitalize on that? Because I believe you got to get to 15% to get into the presidential debates, which would obviously give you a much bigger platform.
Shannon, I think it needs to start with, how about 3 names right at the top? Johnson, Weld, Trump, Clinton, as opposed to Trump and Clinton, and then as an afterthought, gee, let's add Gary Johnson to that. 2 former governors. I have picked my running mate, Bill Weld, as 2 former governors, Republican governors in heavily blue states. What's that all about? Running as libertarians. I think we're representing the broad middle of American politics right now, and with enough time to go before these presidential debates, I think that we could be polling at 15% and really shake things up come November.
How do you do it, though? I mean, this is a huge money game. You know that they're, you know, those who complain that they say Mr. Trump has gotten, you know, millions, maybe billions in free advertising, and that Hillary has giant coffers. She's done an excellent job in fundraising. I mean, how do you compete with those two juggernauts, just simply so people know you're out there and you're running?
Well, I think it speaks volumes to the fact that we are where we're at with the amount of money that we have, and fundraising for us is robust these days. Now, I am speaking relatively, but earned media, there seems to be a real appetite for that right now. Thank you very much for having me on the show right now. This could be up to a 18% bump in and of itself. So, Shannon, thank you.
Well, you know, Fox viewers, they're faithful and loyal. We have giant audiences, so it is great exposure. Governor, we thank you very much for joining us, and I'm sure I'll see you out there in the campaign trail soon.
All right, look forward to it. Thank you.
All right. Well,